Welcome back to Crypto Spaces, back with another Monad update for you guys. First, let's start off with the overall market, macro market, to see the direction where we're headed. Again, I think a lot of the short-term price action is not super important personally. You'll have to play the market on a longer term time horizon, higher time frames, in my opinion, because until we see some type of solidification for Bitcoin and where it's headed, we make our decision on where the overall market, altcoins, etc. are heading as well. So again, if you've been paying attention to other content creators, you'd see a number of them, a number of them are still bullish. They think we make a new all-time high for Bitcoin. And then there's another percentage of them that think, we enter a bear market this year, right? So you can't really rule out either option, because a lot of people might think, well, eventually we're going to find a bottom and then Bitcoin makes a move to 120 to 130K. But from what it's looking like, from my perspective, there's not really any surefire way to know. But a lot of, again, charts show that, Bitcoin could potentially make a move down to 60,000, maybe even as low as 40,000. If we don't have any type of catalyst or any type of positive reasons for the price to move up, right? Because we get good news and the price is still bearish, right? It's still bearish overall in the macro for the entire market, right? And because of that, because of Bitcoin being bearish, you could expect altcoins to be bearish as well. But obviously, like I mentioned in the past, there's still strong altcoins that I think you could still, make investments in, or dollar cost average into, that are still strong. And whenever, whenever a direction is finalized or solid, whenever a direction has come to a conclusion for the crypto macro market, obviously, right? That's where you would see the upside for, the altcoin that you are bullish on, right? And my pick for altcoins that have that, strength, has that, upside potential, has a chance to, be great ROI, return on your investment. My pick is Monad. Why is that? Well, it's the first Coinbase ICO project. I would think that Coinbase wants their first ICO to be successful so that they launch other ICOs, right? And if you take a look at the chart of Monad, it's holding up very strong compared to a lot of other altcoins. Even a few days ago, from day before, it started to show strength. The market turned a bit, like a couple days of green, and Monad was like one of the better performers. It went up around 20 to 25%, 23%, right? And that's what you like to see. So once we see a final decision for the macro, if we're bullish, or Bitcoin, even makes kind of a move to maybe 103, 105K, maybe we do see that all-time high of 120 to 130K, I would think Monad is one of the better picks for that, for an investment in these conditions that we're in right now, in my opinion, right? It's going to be one of the faster movers, in my opinion, right? So right now, Monad under 2 cents, $213 million in market cap here. Again, like I said in previous videos, pretty much saying the same thing here with how much Monad you should have in your bag, in your portfolio. I think 100,000 Monad is a great bet to make. It's giving people a ton of time to accumulate the 100,000 Monad, right? You can't say you don't have enough time, because we had the move up to 3 cents and then we instantly got sold off with the overall market. And then, you have cheap prices for a good amount of days to accumulate, that 100,000 bag, right? Now, obviously, there's people that are going to invest more, right? But I'm just speaking to people, like, I don't want people to overinvest into anything in the market, because we're in a rocky place right now. And overall, people are saying crypto sucks, right? Crypto is, done. The industry's done. Crypto is, the worst asset class ever. It's underperforming everything. Stocks, gold and silver outperforming crypto. No retail investors are here, right? Everything is just negative, right? Fear and greed is at, fear right now. And again, that's why I'm like, well, I don't think you should overinvest here, right? Someone would be like, well, Warren Buffett would be like, well, you buy the fear, right? When it's fearful, you be greedy, right? But you never know if Bitcoin drops to 60 to 50K from here, and then Monad drops to 1 cent, less than 1 cent from here, right? So this is why I say don't overinvest, dollar cost average, and be strategic. Be as strategic as possible, because this is the most difficult asset class in the world, right? And this is why you see retail interest or retail investors barely touch crypto anymore, because it's just that difficult, right? I know there's the bigger content creators that already made millions. They don't really care, right? They already made millions. They're going to make their content. They're always going to be bullish, etc. But I'm talking to the average person. I'm talking to the people that haven't made it yet, and people that I could relate with. I haven't made it yet for my financial goals personally, and I'm still participating in the market. So I can't just be like, yes, everything's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. Let's go. I can't be like that, right? So I'm speaking to the people that are still trying to get to their financial goals, right? And I'm rambling now, but I'm speaking to those type of people that understand where the market is at right now, where it could be heading, and telling you guys to manage your risks, practice proper risk management, just in case we do see those 60K to 50K lows for Bitcoin, right? Taking a look at a new update for the Monad protocol. They have right here an on-chain execution layer for you to take a look at everything that is happening on the Monad chain, with all the transactions that are getting verified, voted on, right? The TPS, the exact TPS at the exact moment. Right now, the average execution time is 4 milliseconds, guys. So fast, right? And as you can see, the amount of MON that is being transferred and how fast that is happening. It's bullish stuff, right? They're not, again, Monad is not just speaking about the, power of their chain, right? They're showing you the power of the chain. And this is why I think, again, Monad could have mass adoption, because obviously, right, there's not just going to be one successful layer one. That cannot be the case. Just like how there's multiple different credit card, debit card companies or banking companies. You have Visa, you have American Express, you have MasterCard, etc. You can see the same thing here with crypto, right? You'll have Solana, right, doing its thing. You'll have Ethereum, and you'll have Monad, in my opinion, Avalanche as well, right? All these layer ones find their own niche, their own product market fit, and they be successful. So again, just a quick update as usual, guys. Monad in a good spot to accumulate as always here. Anything under 2 cent, anything under 2.5 cent is a great buy, and I'll keep these updates for you guys as usual. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, none of this is financial advice, and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.